When a tow truck hooks a vehicle and drives off, the physical repossession is over. That event instantly dissolves into a stream of data, flowing directly into a massive, automated credit reporting network. Consumers tried to fight this data by mailing generic dispute letters to credit bureaus, hoping a human would read them. That strategy is dead. But a recent shift in federal regulations has exposed a massive structural flaw in how banks process data, giving you the leverage to legally force their compliance. In February 2026, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau updated its regulatory framework. Previously, credit bureaus were allowed to issue procedural dismissals, meaning their computers could automatically verify a debt and throw out your dispute without actually looking at the evidence. The new mandate outright bans this, requiring a substantive, detailed review of every claim. This chart shows the exact volume of consumer credit reporting complaints submitted to the federal government. By October 2025, that number had spiked to over 460,000 complaints in a single month. The sheer math shows that manual human review of these files is practically impossible. Because lenders can no longer legally auto-verify and dismiss your disputes, their legacy reporting systems are breaking down. They are now highly vulnerable to instantaneous, targeted digital audit trails. Auto lenders process thousands of defaults at scale, and that volume inevitably creates sloppiness. Baseline industry audits reveal that between 15 and 25% of these accounts contain technical reporting errors. The primary target for an audit is Uniform Commercial Code Article 9. This law requires banks to send a pre-sale document called a Notice of Intent to Sell. It must include exact itemized payoff calculations, but in high-volume lending, these critical fields are frequently left blank or calculated improperly. We can now deploy AI audit tools that read the language of auto collections. They scan these legal documents, looking for hyper-specific mathematical errors, like a bank failing to credit unearned interest rebates back to your final balance. These tools also hunt for chronological mismatches. They cross-reference the date of first delinquency, the exact day an account went 30 days past due, with the date the repossession was actually initiated by the agent. Uncovering just one of these microscopic metadata discrepancies strips the lender of their legal protections. A debt they previously claimed was verified instantly becomes an invalid, legally deficient file. To execute the scrub, the AI crawls a lender's Metro 2 formatting, the standard data language banks use to report your history to the credit bureaus. It isolates millions of rows until it finds status code 08, the tag for a repossession. Once isolated, the software flags fatally flawed filings within that structure, like a lack of itemized operational costs or a timeline mismatch between delinquency and the repo date. Identifying these flaws triggers a strict legal mechanism under UCC Section 9-616. You submit an automated request for an explanation of their calculations. The law gives the bank exactly 14 days to provide a mathematically perfect, itemized response. Human compliance officers cannot parse years of localized metadata and legal code in 2 weeks. This strategy uses mathematical precision to out-automate the lenders, weaponizing their own massive data frameworks to force a system failure. To make this work, you bypass general customer service entirely. The AI-generated request is routed directly to specialized compliance departments, immediately triggering mandatory legal workflows. These workflows are complicated by strict local rules. In California, the Reese Levering Act forces a rigid 15-day reinstatement timeline. For active duty military, the FCRA strictly forbids repossessions without a court order. Generic banking software routinely trips over these localized metadata hurdles. This creates an impossible legal trap. Under the 2026 CFPB rules, banks must perform a substantive review of your complex state-specific claims within a strict 30-day statutory window. Facing thousands of automated, highly technical disputes, they lack the operational bandwidth to respond. Because they cannot respond compliantly within the required timeframe, the law dictates they must fold. The repossession is legally scrubbed from your credit profile, and they are permanently barred from reinserting it. The moment that repossession drops off, your digital footprint resets. Your immediate next step is to pull fresh reports from all 3 major bureaus to verify the audit cleared your profile. Then you leverage that newly scrubbed profile. You move quickly to secure new high-limit financing while the lending algorithms are still adjusting to this 2026 federal mandate. For decades, banks relied on automated systems to process debt and mark your credit without a second thought. Today, savvy consumers are using the exact statutory legal code to turn that massive automation entirely against them. If you want to access the exact AI audit frameworks required to execute this strategy, hit subscribe. It is time to stop playing defense against the credit bureaus and start playing offense.